the weight of the embarrassment and the shame. And that's what really gonna get his too. How you gonna really get away with it? That embarrassment, that shame,
Yeah.
should hit different and it stay on you a long time. A bath ain't gonna be able to clean that off.
You see men fall, don't laugh. Because to laugh and not learn is to make the same mistake yourself.
You seen that Diddy documentary?
So here's my takeaway from Diddy, right? Of course, you got the obvious. He was wrong, the domestic violence. But the mindset that he had in the midst of that to do that documentary, from my understanding, he did that because he thought that he was genuinely going to be victorious. And he was doing that documentary. He was
He wanted to
filming
document it.
the day-to-day to create a documentary because he felt that he was going to be victorious. In spite of all of that, bro, there's something to be said about what he accomplished and that mindset right there. Against all odds, no matter what it looked like, he still felt like he was going to be victorious.
Yeah, because he's the amount of things he's gotten away with throughout his life, he had no reason not to believe he was gonna get away with it again.
Yeah, but that's maybe on a negative, on a negative side, right? When you talk about all of the stuff that he's gotten away with, but on the positive side, like what can you glean from that? No matter what you go through, and that's what happened to the coach at Michigan. He lost sight, he lost hope. No matter what you go through, you can't lose hope. That's why people give up, do stupid, and sometimes end their life early because they lose hope. I don't give a shit how bad it is, what it looked like. As long as you have hope, you have a chance. As long as you have a chance, you have an opportunity to turn it around. No storm lasts forever.
I hear that. I do.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And that's a very, very positive spin on that. I don't think that's what Diddy was thinking.
No, Diddy.
I don't think Diddy was out there thinking that I'm gonna keep hope alive. I'm thinking Diddy was thinking like, I'm untouchable. I don't know who it was in the doc that they said like when he got in trouble, he want to come back to Harlem to kind of be embraced by the people.
Yeah.
Then he get in the car and say he need to bathe in peroxide, bro, from hugging people. He just out here just using these folks for a photo op for real. He just trying to get in good graces of the people because all these accusations and stuff are coming out about him. He just trying to save face. None of it's genuine.
Yeah. So it's safe to say he was the main character in his story?
Of course.
Do you think there's a lot of value in being the main character in your story?
Everybody's the main character in their own story.
I don't think everybody. Well, what about people that play victim?
Everyone's the main character in their own story, but everybody's story is different. His story is vastly different. But those people the people that was in support of Diddy, they woke up in their own skin thinking about what they had to do to get through the day, to deal with what they had to deal with, to get what they wanted from the situation.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody in it for their own personal reasons.
Yeah.
And some people just don't have the strength or the courage to walk away from a situation when they know it's not good for them, but they the ones living with it. They're the ones that when they look in the mirror, they don't like what they see.
Yeah.
They don't see when you in life and you doing something that you don't feel good about it. When you look in the mirror, you can't see what someone else sees. You can't see how they see you. You can only see how you see yourself.
True.
So you your own main character.
Yeah.
But you right, sometimes people let life dictate what happens to them, but from their perspective, it's happening to them and no one else.
What's another thing you learned from Diddy that's applicable to life?
It just emphasized how important it is just to treat people right, bro.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when the chips is down, you gonna need somebody in your corner. When you can't do for self, when the whole world is, turn their back against you, you gonna wish you had some of them people that you screwed over in your corner, vouching for you, holding you down. All those people's lives you've touched and impacted throughout these past 2.5 decades, 3 decades. When it's time to answer for some of what you've done, like, no one's there. Not no one.
That's the
only people there in your corner is your family.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Isn't that,
all the people.
isn't that really like low key how it always is though? When you fall from grace?
You can fall from grace
Yeah.
in the public eye, and it will feel like the whole world is against you. But if the people that was in your circle, in your orbit, if you did right by them, they gonna hold you down.
For sure. Absolutely. One of my biggest takeaways is like an old saying you hear all the time, but I can really see it in this documentary. Be careful how you treat people on the way up, because you might need them or meet them on the way down.
100%.
What goes up must come down some way, some fashion. But how you treat people really does matter, man. Genuine, authentic connection is what really, really matters at the end of the day. And I feel like that should be all of our righteous testimony. Like, no matter how much success we have, how much money we touch, like genuine impact, that's what leaves your legacy. Like, people may not always remember what you do, but they're gonna always remember how you made them feel.
100%.
And Diddy, you know, grabbed the earth by the ankles and shook a lot of people out of it. But the reality is he shitted on a lot of people too. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at them scales, you know what I mean? The bad definitely outweigh the good.
And another thing that stuck out to me, bro, is when old girl Kalina said she was in a tough spot. She needed $5,000.
Oh yeah.
And Diddy
said,
Diddy said no. But then he turned around and asked her
Wasn't it for her kids though?
to get her kids back.
Yeah.
She was going through some type of a custody battle. She needed to get some legal representation. And she asked Diddy for $5,000. And he told her no, then turned right back around and asked her
some help.
for her help to make a statement on his behalf. Come on, man. But yeah, man, it just, on the topic of these relationships and how you treat people, kind of got me thinking of a sermon that I recently heard. Sometimes we often confuse those who are highly visible in our lives to be actually valuable. Like
Because they there.
because you know, those might be the people that come around and bring the energy. Those are the people that's always around when things are going good. They're highly visible. But sometimes it's those relationships where the people might be in the background, working in the shadows, so to speak, but they really make the biggest impact.
I was listening to the podcast, Bussin' with the Boys. They was interviewing Coach O, Ed Orgeron. He was giving recruiting stories, how he would go into these places, getting these high-level recruits, and one way that he vetted these recruits to see if they were like good people, he always went and checked on attendance. If you can't go, show up on time, go to class. If you can't do the small things, how the hell are you gonna be able to do the big things?
100%.
Right? And he thought outside of the box. He didn't just go to coaches, principals, highly visible people in the school to check the character. He would go to the truant's house, security guards. He would talk to the custodian. What does this guy look like? Does he show up on time? Does he smell like weed when he coming to school? You know what I mean? Who is he running with? So he didn't always ask the visible people, right? He asked the people that was in the shadows about the character. And a true test of your character is how well you treat people that can't do anything for you.
Always.
Yeah. Because you just never know, man, when your opportunity, your breakthrough come from one of the least of those. You know what I'm saying?
Another realization that I just recently had, and it was also from church, it was like, relationships are never neutral.
Talk to me.
Any relationship that anytime you spend significant time around a person, it's either lifting you up or bringing you down. It's never neutral.
Between.
It's never neutral. You're never going to leave just as you came when you spend a significant amount of time with the person.
What if you're with some really good people too? I'm talking about good Christian, wholesome. They're positive, uplifting, but they just don't do it for you.
What do you mean?
They aren't bad people. They're good people, but they just might not ignite that fire in your belly. They don't really charge you up.
Oh, so you saying like you around good, decent, wholesome people, but
Wholesome
they just,
people.
but
That
they
just
just
don't inspire your
They
emotion.
just don't have that thing that make you want to get up and do.
Or they might be more led. Exactly. They don't have that. Or they might, good, wholesome people, but you're just not like a real hustler. You're gonna do what you feel versus doing what you gotta do to get to the next level.
For me, it doesn't have to be like this person makes me want to get up tomorrow morning and wake up at 4:30 and hit the gym hard as I've ever done it in my life. Sometimes I could just be feeling like, man, in a rut, in the dumps, or just not feeling anything. But when I'm around them, I feel better.
I'm all for that. That's some hard said, and I agree. But let's just say, because I know how I'm wired. I'm wired a bit different, right? Because you also said it's never neutral. It's either charging you up or bringing you down, right? And you know I'm always go, go, go. That's just how I am. And I'm trying to accomplish something in this life. So I typically like being around people who I can share that flame with, people that ignite that fire in me. But I've also been around some good, wholesome people. They just might not want what I want out of life. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So being around them because they're more settled,
So what are you saying?
more comfortable.
You saying your
with their
energy
life.
is here.
Yeah, that's good. Wholesome
Your
person, they
energy,
bring me.
they're a good person. So what did you just say? They brought you down.
That's what I'm saying. So all right, cool. But
It
there's a
wasn't
dilemma
neutral.
because I'm like, damn, this is a good person. You know what I mean? We
It-
just on two.
It's never, but it's whatever your objective is, whatever your pursuit is. If your pursuit is productivity, you're gonna get with people that's gonna meet you where you are with that energy, and y'all gonna be able to
Sometimes
accomplish.
I wonder if I'm tripping. I'm like, damn,
You
this
know
is
what I
a
mean?
good person. Like, why am I feeling unsettled in my spirit?
I mean,
with
I
this?
think that
You know what I'm
theory
saying?
applies on a multitude of levels. It could just be just your spirit, how you feel,
Yeah.
that energy, just that good energy. Or you could be like you say, you could be hustling. And if a person that you in business with or in partnership with, if their hustle isn't matching your hustle and y'all ain't elevating, because that's synergy right there. When you two people are
That's where the power and the magic happen.
right, you know what I mean? Because that at that point, 1 + 1 now equals 4.
Absolutely.
But if you have a person that's just hanging around, they're good people.
Good people. But I got to keep.
But you keep having to
distributed.
taking a step back to
Yeah.
bring them along.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just
not-
appreciate that.
That's not
I've been
helping
having
you.
a conflict in my spirit because it's like, this is a good person. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, damn.
Yeah, whatever your objective is, you know what I mean? If your objective is like being productive, like you have to find somebody who has that type of energy that get up and go, that want to meet you on that level of productivity.
Yeah.
It's not always about like good or bad person.
Yeah.
It's just like where their energy is. If their energy is lower than yours, then that lower energy is bringing you down. If their energy is higher than yours, their energy will bring you up.
Yep. Or just as high, or just, equal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I appreciate that.
When you in training, for you getting ready for the season, it's just like you either getting better or you getting worse.
Yeah, ain't no in between.
Ain't no in between.
Yeah.
Because you think when you take that day off, your competition is putting in work, you falling behind.
Absolutely.
That's just the theory. That's just how it works. So it's just like it's never really neutral. So you have to be mindful of who you spend significant amount of time around.
Yep.
And if you are in a season where you all about productivity and you about go,
get it.
I got
You
to
know what I'm
get it,
saying?
I gotta get it, then you better make sure that the people you surround yourself are gonna be able to match that energy.
Yeah.
Or you might just have to, during this season,
Well,
if you're focused,
solo.
you might need to just make sure that now you gotta cut people off totally. If they're good people, you could just like, if these are your people, but they just ain't where you are in that particular season.
Right now I'm in season.
Man, that's
I'm
okay.
gonna get you in the off season.
Yeah,
I
that's
got more
okay.
time. You get what I'm saying? Right now I got
That's
a lot.
okay. And
I gotta focus. This is my time. This is my window. I can't miss this window. And because we talked about treating people properly. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like, all right, I'm trying to be as fair as possible, but this is not serving me in the way it needs to serve me at this time. But I'm not saying this is not a valuable person or a valuable relationship. All I'm saying is right now, possibly less is more for me.
let your no's be no's and your yeses be yeses. And if you tell someone no, and then they want a rebuttal and try to get you to engage you to try and change your mind and see or ask why. They need to know why you tell them no for whatever reason. The answer is simple. That just doesn't work for me. Just let it be. Sometimes we make it more complicated than it really is. Some people, some people are cool with just being no, and I'm fine with that. Some people, depending on who it is and what the ask is, and you have to tell them no, and you want to give them an excuse and all that, but it just don't work for me. And if they can't respect that, then that's on them. And you should never feel bad. You don't never need to apologize by, choosing a situation that's best for you. Because when I choose, my peace, I choose whatever it is that's most valuable for me or important for me. That's nothing against you. I just did what was best for me in the situation, because doing what you wanted me to do wasn't working for me. Now I'm putting myself at a disadvantage to make your life or make your situation pleasurable. While I'm suffering just to make you happy. You're responsible for your own happiness, just as I am. That's why I chose to say no.
Yeah. So is you choosing what's best for you the same as Diddy in the office saying, I have to get what I want? You know what I'm talking about?
Diddy doing what's best for him and not paying people what he owe him. It's not what I'm talking about. And then he was talking about, God told me not to do nothing. Y'all got to figure it out. No, that wasn't God.
told me.
God told me not to do nothing.
Hey.
I don't know if God was talking to you.
Hey, God told you a long time you need to chill out. You was like, can't stop, won't stop.
Real spill. God been telling you not to do nothing. Now you want to listen? God told me not to do nothing.
Oh, he said, God told me not to do nothing.
All right.
What y'all gonna do? Y'all got to figure this out, man.
Nah, boy.
God been told you, though. I heard him tell me, several times. I just kept going.
You just can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah,
Can't stop, won't stop. But
is there anything you like? Is there anything you can glean from him? Like anything positive?
The supreme belief in self and the relentless work ethic. Now, if he could have just had those two characteristics, those two traits, and found a way to treat people better.
There's nothing wrong with that, yeah.
But he could,
Because I hate for people to look at him and be like, that's why you shouldn't be successful. One thing I like, it was like a little powerful moment. I guess when he was coming back through New York City and he saw it there and knocked down the Bad Boy building. I know in his heart he had to feel a certain way to see his life's accomplishment, that monument of success that represented him and what he was capable of. All those hours of hustle, all those ideas, all those goals, all those dreams, he saw it manifested and it dominated for a long time. And I know he had to feel a certain way when it got knocked down. But immediately when he saw that, he thought, look to the future. God's got bigger and better. It's time to go and build. He didn't sit there and wallow off those past victories. He didn't sit there and wallow because that era of success had come to an end. He immediately, it was a split second, bro. And to me, it was powerful. It was like, look to the future. Well, I ain't really agreeing with who he is, but that little split, it's a split second. And really what it is, it's a mindset, right? And I guarantee you, when you really look at it and you study it, Kobe had the same mindset. I guarantee you, Michael Jordan had the same mindset. You feel what I'm saying? Tom Brady definitely got the same mindset.
Yeah, I think there's some positive things to take from Diddy, but there is a lot not to like there. He's kind of like, he gives you best of both worlds. He gives you a blueprint on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
He can give you like 2 volumes, like 2 thick 500-page manuals on what to do and what not to do.
Absolutely.
In the same person. Like, he can read them both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because both are equally important.
Absolutely, yeah.
When we were talking about toxicity in relationships, I know that's a word that's kind of overused, especially in the social media area. Like, this person's toxic, that person's toxic, that's
we all
toxic masculinity, this, that, and the third. But during that sermon, it got me to thinking, like, Okay, cool. I think it's fairly easy for me to look at someone and say, man, that's toxic. Okay, cool. But it's not as easy to do some
Look
self-evaluation
at myself.
and see, okay, am I guilty of some of this too? Because oftentimes when I can easily identify something in someone else that I don't necessarily like or agree with, chances are there is an area that I do the same thing to a different degree or something similar. And that's really had me think like, because as I'm sitting here listening to this sermon, I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking about all the people that this might apply to. Okay, yeah, I hate when this person does this. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then it had got me to thinking like, man, what are some of the things that I do that someone else may feel is toxic?
Oh man, yeah.
So honestly, it kind of, I feel like this might be that good old look in the mirror season, because we're just seeing it again, like we're the main character in our own mind. So we thinking that these people should just acquiesce and fit into what it is I'm trying to do. And you could be so stubborn and headstrong about what it is you want to do, and you the one that's really throwing out the vibe, and what you're doing right now to that person can be considered toxic
Yeah.
because it feels as if you're actively trying to, throw a wrench in the plans. And you might, in your little main character mind, be like, I'm just trying to get what I'm trying to get accomplished on my own terms. But sometimes when you're in a group setting or a partnership or a relationship, it's not always about what you want and doing things on your own terms. It's about being in collaboration.
Being a good partner.
It's about being a good partner, a good teammate. You just can't go out here and run the route that you want to run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be on the same page as the quarterback. We immediately want to blame the quarterback, but sometimes the receiver just wasn't where he was supposed to be.
He ran the wrong route.
He ran the wrong route. The quarterback threw the ball on time to the spot it was supposed to be.
Yep.
The receiver wasn't there.
Yep. He turned out instead of turning.
So a lot of times that quarterback sucked. Actually, the receiver is the issue.
Yeah.
And that's how we are now in our real life sometimes. Like a lot of times it's easy to identify like, oh, this person is toxic or this. Sometimes if we being real, if we want to be mature enough to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I could have did that better. Or I bring a lot of BS to the table too. So I was sitting there in church just like literally thinking of names and faces.
They was just flash.
That applies to this person. That applies to this person. I don't know if it was God or just me just coming down to me like,
whoa,
nigga, that's you too. Yeah, that's really you. And exactly how you feel about this person, I can easily identify things that I do that make them feel the same way about me. So it just, when it comes to relationship, there's so many levels and layers to having a positive, healthy relationship. And a lot of it does have to do with self-reflection and making sure that you kind of check some of your BS at the door. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of times, we talking to people and they act like they love the idea of being in a long-term healthy relationship, but the truth of the matter is that's not what they want. That's not where they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gonna have to accept the fact that you ain't in a position or ready to be in a relationship. So don't even worry about what it takes.
You're not really a good teammate right now.
No, you're not willing to be a good teammate. So don't even worry about that. You got to get yourself right. You have to get yourself to a position where you ready to actually be in partnership and work in concert with a person 24/7 and be okay with that and find the joy in that. Otherwise, it doesn't. Nothing else does. The communication, the trust, and all those other things that people say, which are truly pillars.
Yeah.
But you won't even get to that point because you're not ready to be in a relationship to begin with. It won't get to the point where those things really, you're going to really see how important those things really are. You're never going to get to a situation where those things are really gonna be tested. Those things are really gonna have to work for you because you so busy trying to live your own life and just want somebody to be there to live it with you.
Man, that's crazy. I've definitely done that like before, several
took somebody
times. And
to
just relationship, just not being a good team player,
Yeah, I mean,
not being the best partner. And you're right, all of those pillars don't matter if you ain't got that part right.
if you ain't ready to be in a relationship, it don't matter how well you communicate. You talking to yourself, really.
Yeah.
You talking to yourself. It don't matter how much your partner trusts or you want to trust your partner because you're going to do what you want to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You was always going to do what you wanted to do. You just wanted that other person to be cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they not, then it don't matter how much you trust them, how much y'all talk about it. That shit ain't gonna work for long. Moral of the story, man. I think, man, we overcomplicate life. Like we really learn how to really be successful in relationship as children.
Yeah.
And it was just,
You gotta learn shit.
You gotta learn to share. You gotta treat people how you want to be treated. I really can't think of anything that's more true than that when it comes to relationships. Like nobody really likes being lied to,
No.
cheated on, disrespected. So don't do those things to other people. And your relationships, you'll find out that most relationships in your life that matter will, be a lot healthier. If you really just took time to consider if the person that I'm doing this to did that to me, how would that make me feel? And if you don't like if you don't like that answer, then you probably shouldn't do that to them. And I think things might work out better for a lot of people. Real spill. Just the disrespect won't be tolerated. They might let you think it's cool. Like you said earlier, people forget what you said, people forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Men fall, don't laugh, because to laugh and not learn is to make the same mistake yourself.
Life is 10% what happens to you. It's 90% what you do about it.